Thank you all for participating in the 12th Annual Relay for Life of the Pascack Valley. My name is Tina Padalano. Together with Michelle Tomasi, we invite you to join us for tonight's Luminaria Ceremony. We would like to give a special thank you to Mr. Ullman and the Emerson High School Senior Chorus. It was a beautiful rendition of Bell's Latin Gregorian chant, and I believe from Spring Awakening. So let's give them a hand. The Pascack Hills Teens Against Cancer, the TAC team, will be handing out glow sticks. I believe some people have already gotten them. We ask you not to crack those until we have a ceremony of cracking them. The Luminaria Ceremony is an opportunity for us to all come together and remember why we're here at the American Cancer Society. One second to find my place again. Relay for Life. I'd like to ask that you all please respect the meaning of this ceremony by remaining silent. This is a time for us to grieve for those we've lost to cancer. It's a time to reflect on how the disease has touched each and every one of us personally. And it is a time for us to look inside ourselves with quiet reflection to find hope. No matter what our experience with cancer has been, we all share the hope that we will one day live in a world where our children and their children will never have to hear the words, "You have cancer." Our track is illuminated by Luminaria bags. Each one represents a treasured relationship. They represent people, each with a name and a story to tell. They are mothers, they're our fathers, our sisters, our brothers, our sons, our daughters, our friends, and our loved ones. We love these people, we remember them, we celebrate them, and we fight back against this disease for them. As these luminaria glow through the night, they represent our shared vision for a cancer-free future. So many of us have our own stories about how cancer has affected our lives. Now we will hear from Chip Ambrosio as he shares his experience as a caregiver.
Chipper.
Good evening, everyone. Before we start, I'd like to acknowledge all of tonight's speakers. Let's hear it for them. Every one of us tonight knows where we were when we got the news. Whether your doctor said, "I got your test results back, there's a problem." Or a loved one said, "Sit down, there's something I have to tell you." That moment is frozen in time because it's excruciatingly, painfully real. Someone you love has cancer. My moment was September 2015. Day 4 of a new job. I'd been out of work for some time, gone through savings, was worried about money. I needed to make that job last as long as possible. All of that was running through my mind when my wife Jean called that afternoon. "When are you coming home?" she said. I said, "I got my class tonight." She said, "Come home." I took McLean to the doctor about the pain in his testicle. "Come home." When you've been with somebody for 30 years, you don't have to ask for an explanation. I heard the panic in the timbre of her voice. I got in the car. I drove like a maniac, an hour and 45 minutes to find out. The scan showed a mass. They wanted to remove it that day, now. There was no time to think. What do you do? Who do you ask for help? Who do you turn to? Our son has cancer. Every one of you tonight faced that crossroad. When someone you love has cancer, nothing else matters, your bills, your job, whatever plans you had, because the only thing you care about is saving the life of someone you love. For me, it came out of nowhere. The night before, we were out to dinner, laughing. He made a joke about the swelling, and we said, hey, maybe you should check that out. 18 hours later, one doctor's trip, our lives changed forever. I was blindsided. It's like being pushed into cold, murky water. You're in shock. You're sinking. You're powerless. Nothing to grab onto. I remember raising my hands up and saying, why him? He's 18. Take me. You bargain, try to deny, but cancer isn't a negotiation. Ultimately, the diagnosis is the diagnosis. You've all been there. There's no magic bullet. It's only questions. Where do we find the strength to face the uncertainty? How do you tell your child, your loved one, it's going to be okay? And more importantly, believe it yourself. I don't have to tell any of you. You know, a cancer diagnosis doesn't come with a guarantee. I was willing to do anything, but I was unsure of what to do. I was emotionally and physically paralyzed. All I knew was I didn't want to lose my son. I looked inward for answers, and I found none. Instead of where I should look, outward for support. If recovery is a journey, we needed to take the first step. My wife, Jean, was a rock. Let's hear it from my wife, Jean. She took the first step for us. She called our family doctor, who said, if it was my son, I'd go to Sloan. Let me make some phone calls. Take a deep breath. I got this. He got us in. The next step, the doctor at Sloan looked at the scan and then talked to my son, McLean, and said, what are you going to major in? I got this, kid. Start planning for your future. He told us testicular cancer is one of the most curable forms. Then he asked us, you got a 529 plan? College is expensive. His confidence reassured us. We knew we were in the right place. Our family and friends kept it moving. It's going to be okay. Don't worry about cooking, we got it. We'll watch Teddy, our other son. We'll keep him busy. Just focus on McLean. The day of McLean's surgery, the nurses, hospital staff made sure we knew everything was okay. As soon as he got out of surgery, they immediately told us. They told us surgery would take 45 minutes. It only took 38. And I was thinking, this is the kind of paranoia that cancer causes. Maybe they couldn't do anything. Maybe there was a problem. We walked into the doctor's office and he said, everything went well. He's in recovery. We said, how did he do? The doctor said, he had a ball. Now he has two. We laughed, and it was the first time since the diagnosis that we took a deep breath. It was 3 days that felt like 3 years. But thanks to the doctors, the nurses, our family and friends, we just kept putting one foot in front of the other. To me, this is what Relay for Life is about. Reminding us that if this is a journey, we don't have to take it alone. That there's comfort in our shared experience, that unity is our greatest weapon against cancer. By sharing stories of our loved ones, both here and ones we've lost, we demystify cancer, lessen the fear, fuel the hope. So if I can offer any advice, don't run this race alone. You can't carry this baton by yourself. It's too much, too painful, too isolated. Hand it off when you're not strong enough. Pick it back up when you're rested, ready, fortified by a support network. Relay for Life teaches us this. We're all here for each other. So, survivors, tell your stories. Caregivers, know that what you do makes a difference. Those who've lost loved ones, share your memories with those of us who need to hear them. It's our willingness to discuss our fears, our doubts, and join together, to walk side by side, open to the good, the bad, the ugly, and say, you're not alone. Keep moving. We're not going to let you give up. The money's raised, the stories passed on, the nurturing of this network of hope is Relay for Life. What we are doing here tonight matters. Give yourselves a hand for coming out. In 2 years, my son McLean will complete his recovery. Today he's in college, trying to pick a major, making music, doing stand-up, hanging out with his friends, leaving the cap off the toothpaste, his socks all over his room, getting frustrated when I ask him to fix the Netflix or cut the lawn, and then telling his mother and I, you guys are so annoying, I can't wait to move out. Just like any normal 22-year-old. So tonight, take a lap for your loved ones. Some who may be taking that first step on their own journey of recovery. And please, don't forget to take a lap for the ones whose journey may be over, but who, thanks to all of us tonight, will live in our hearts forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Chip, for sharing your story with us tonight. My name is Michelle Tomasi, and I would like to take a few moments to delve further into the true meaning of the word hope. But first, I'd like to thank the TAC team. We're changing things up a little bit this year, and they were so helpful. So thank you, TAC. Emily Dickinson refers to hope as the thing with feathers that perches on our souls. Hope is the feeling that what is wanted can be had, or that events will turn out for the best. As we light the H in hope, know that everyone with cancer and those who surround them must have hope. We must embrace it as we awaken to a new day, and we must tuck it in with us as we dream in the night. It is the very thing that gives us strength when all seems lost. It is with hope that this illness is even bearable, for hope is the light at the end of the tunnel. We light the O in hope to symbolize what people who are afflicted with cancer are taught, but how everyone should live their lives, one day at a time. We know that one day at a time is more than any of us could ask for, because tomorrow is never guaranteed. So when a new day is fulfilled, don't merely exist in it, live in it, and by all means love in it. For it is the hope of a new day that gives us all reason to dream about tomorrow. We light the P in hope for progress. It is with progress that a cure is obtainable. Each year, research has progressed in a way unachievable without the help of people such as you, who are dedicated to the cause and ultimately to the cure. We light the E in hope for encouragement. It is the action of giving support and the confidence to fight. It ends the word and it brings the word together, as we all stand here tonight, together in the fight, together for the cause, together defining hope, together learning from one another. When hope is all you have, know that you hold the key to serenity, for it is obtainable, it is believable, but most of all, it's what truly feeds our souls. With the help of community events like Relay for Life, we mobilize the world's largest movement to defeat cancer, and we turn hope into cure.
I would like to read to you an excerpt from a poem by Robert L. Lynn. This was made famous in the Dear Abby column. Cancer is so limited. It cannot cripple love. It cannot shatter hope. It cannot corrode faith. It cannot destroy peace. It cannot kill friendship. It cannot suppress memories. It cannot silence courage. It cannot invade the soul. It cannot steal eternal life. It cannot conquer the spirit. At this time, I'd like to again introduce Eric Wang, who did an absolutely amazing job sharing his story at opening ceremonies. Tonight, Eric will lead us in the lighting of the glow sticks ceremony to honor his father.
We come together today to renew our fight against cancer through Relay for Life and to celebrate our efforts thus far. One aspect of this celebration is to honor those touched by cancer who were and are an important part of our lives. Cancer has no preference. It takes young, old, fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, husbands, wives, best friends, old friends, and dear friends. Please pick up your glow stick. Those honoring your mother, please light your glow stick now. Those honoring your father, please light your glow stick now. Those honoring a husband or a wife, please light your glow stick now. Those honoring a son or daughter, please light your glow stick now. Those honoring grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and other relatives, please light your glow sticks now. Friends are treasures that can never be replaced. Those honoring friends or neighbors, please light your glow stick now. For those whose memory we honor tonight, this light represents the love we shared. It still burns for others to see, but it burns brightest in our hearts and in our souls. You were and will always be a part of us. Though we do not see you, we know you are with us. For those who are currently fighting the battle or who have won, we light these glow sticks as our continued commitment to the fight. These light glows in honor of all of you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. I would now like to introduce Claudia Pistachio, who will sing Rise Up by Andra Day, accompanied by Jaden Mason on the ukulele.
broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't fight the fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gonna walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, high like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet and move mountains. We'll take it to its feet and move mountains. And I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope. For that we have each other, and for that we have each other. And we will rise, oh, we'll rise, oh, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up, high like the waves. We'll rise up, in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you.
Thank you, Claudia and Jaden. That was beautiful. Tonight, we are turning our sorrows into celebration, and we are transforming our loss into action. We have put faces already made a difference, and will continue to make a difference. Our goal is to finish this fight. To those we honor with these Luminaria glow sticks, this light represents the love we have for you. We now invite everyone to join together in walking a silent lap around the Luminaria in honor of someone close to you who has fought or is fighting cancer. At this time, we ask that our survivors and their families and friends lead us, and everyone else please fall behind.
Thank you.